Hello, congratulations, Siri.
Thank you.
Welcome to Masterclass Space interview session. We are very happy to know about your result, your acceptance from Duke University. Very, very happy. And on behalf of our team, many congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, just want to know in your words, your introduction, please.
Okay, so my name's Siri. I'm from Los Angeles in California in USA, and I'm going to be attending Duke University in fall of 2022. And my SAT score was a 1590.
1580, 1590?
90, 90.
1590 your SAT score. Very great,
Yes.
just 10. How did you lose 10 marks even?
I,
Okay. Siri, people are very inquisitive about knowing the journey of preparation, college preparation. So, we want to ask you so that we can help students and parents prepare for such universities, Ivy Leagues or elite universities. Duke is one of the elite universities. Want to know about your college journey. How was your college journey? You enjoyed it? It was stressful, exciting, or how it was?
I think in the very beginning it was kind of overwhelming because I didn't know like exactly what I was supposed to do, exactly when I was supposed to start. But I think once I started writing the essays and actually filling out the application, it's a lot simpler than you think. Like there's not as many parts. And after you get the first application out, the rest of them are like it's very fulfilling to keep sending out applications. And then once it's done, like you'll feel like, oh, like it wasn't that bad.
That's great. That's great. So you got acceptance from many other universities also, UCLA, UC Berkeley, and other universities, including Duke, and you have accepted offer from Duke. Just want to know a bit about Duke University. I mean, how come basically on what basis you chose Duke over other universities?
I chose Duke because, so specifically, I'm in engineering right now. So for Duke's engineering, their thing is that's the school they're focusing on a lot right now because they want to make that school bigger and get that ranking higher. So they have academic advisors for every 5 students. So there's one advisor who's always checking in on you. So you always have a faculty member that you can go to and talk to. And they have classes where internships are basically guaranteed. And basically everything they do, they make it so that you have access to all of their resources, especially because they're a private school. And so I really liked that about it because I felt like I was getting a lot of attention and that like even in classes, it's very small class sizes and always the classes are always very hands-on. And especially in engineering, I wanted to have a lot of technical hands-on skills. So I thought that was something that I would get from Duke.
Good, good to know about it. Now you have been our my physics student. Could you
Yeah.
please share your experience? How was the physics sessions with Masterclass Space and your AP preparation?
I think I definitely think the AP Physics preparation at Masterclass really helped me because so I took it before taking the actual AP Physics class. So like when my teacher was introducing concepts, I already had a really good idea of what the concept was. So while my teacher was teaching, I was able to get like an even deeper understanding. So like I have my test next week, and I feel like pretty confident about the test because I had 2 years of preparation and especially because one of those years was with Masterclass.
You are surely going to get 5 on 5. You already got 5 on 5, I can tell you. Now, I just want to know a bit about SAT, ACT. You are 1590 on SAT. How important the SAT or ACT score matters? Of course, what we are seeing on the top, students who are getting best scores, they are going to the best universities. So it definitely matters. From your perspective, what do you think?
So recently the SAT and ACT have become removed from, I believe, UCs because of the coronavirus, and so now it's completely gone. But I think for privates, it's still very important because having a good score is not going to hurt you in any way. And I think it's just one other factor that you can have to make yourself stand out, because everyone's going to have really good AP scores, really good extracurriculars, really good GPAs. So having a standardized testing score that's really good is just like one other thing that'll really help you stand out.
Definitely, definitely. We used to hear, same thing from other students also, and same is your perspective. Now, talking about scholarship, how much scholarship you are getting in percentage term?
Right now, I was a national merit finalist, so I'll be getting 50% scholarship off of tuition.
Okay. In order to get this scholarship, what factors are important? They play the important role to get scholarship, basically.
I think it depends on how much the university wants you to come. The more they want you to come, the more money they're gonna give, especially because they're private, so they have the money to give. So yeah, I think it's just based on how much they want you to come. The scholarship that I got, that was a part of this, is called National Merit Scholarship. So you get that from taking the PSAT in 11th grade. And if you get a high enough score, you qualify for like a threshold. So for the state of California, I think you are allowed to miss like 30 points on the PSAT. And if you miss less than that, then you qualified for the scholarship.
Oh, okay, like that. Now,
Yeah.
tell me one thing. So, what was your PSAT score?
My PSAT score, so it's out of 1520, so I believe it was 1490.
1490, 30 point less.
Yeah.
Wow. So, very good. Now, from academic side, want to know a bit about the profile building part, which plays an important role. Now, as you have got into Duke, so for Duke University admission, what do you think was unique in your profile?
I think the main mistake a lot of engineering students especially do is they focus very heavily on only STEM classes, only classes that they know that they can use towards their major. I think I thoroughly enjoyed high school, so I took like classes that had nothing to do with my major too. Like I took art classes, I took theater classes, and I think having that variety was something that Duke really liked, because they always talk about how they're a liberal arts college and how they like their students to be very well-rounded.
Good. So, what are your hobbies, Siri, by the way?
Hobbies, I play badminton and soccer at school, and then I also learn Bharatanatyam on my own.
Wow.
So yeah, those are two main hobbies.
On your own, how did you learn on your own?
Oh no, not on my own. Like
From a
outside
guru,
of,
from a teacher.
yeah.
I get it. Okay. Now, since right now your major is not decided, that we know it will be decided after 1 year. What are your future plans?
I definitely want to be an engineer.
Okay.
I think I do want to go on to get my master's, hopefully, after undergrad, because I feel like that's something that'll help me not only in the job market, but also just get more technical skills in general. And after that, I'll be an engineer. Yeah.
Good. A question which many of the students and parents ask us is about the social work, community work they do for building the profile. Did you have some community work on your profile also?
Yeah, so all of my community work was very themed, because teaching is something that I really enjoy. So almost all of the community work I did had something to do with teaching. I helped start a math tutoring center in my area. I taught art for a while. Everything was very much geared towards teaching. And I think when it comes to community service, if you have a theme like that, I know some people are very passionate about the environment. So all of their social, community service activities are geared towards the environment, and mine were geared towards teaching. I think if you have a theme like that, it really helps on your application.
Cool. Very good. Now, the essays play a big role in admission,
Yeah.
right? Want to know how one should write the essay to get into universities like Duke, Stanford, or any Ivy League? I mean, how did you write? What was so
Um,
unique in that essay?
I think I know a lot of people say that like the essay should reflect your personality, and most people don't take that seriously, but I think it really should. My essay personally, I thought it was a funny essay actually because I like to make jokes a lot and like that's my personality, and I think that really showed on my essay. And I know most engineering students, there's a lot of stereotypes about them being like quiet and like very studious. So I think the fact that my essay showed I wasn't like that was something that made my essay stand out. So yeah, I think in the essay, a lot of people choose very serious topics like really sad stories or like some monumental discovery. My essay was very simple. It was just about something that I love to do, and I think yeah, as long as you're really honest with your essay, and like it should be good.
So basically, you should not cook up any story. You should be
Yeah,
realistic.
no sob stories. Yeah,
You should be realistic the way you are.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway, your SAT score, your APs, your academic credentials, they are showing how you have been. So you don't
yeah,
need to cook up any story.
yeah.
That's a very good suggestion, Siri. I mean, otherwise, many of the students they think that if they come up with some story, how they and something which something inspiring, which they can put on their essay, that's going to impress admission officer.
Hmm.
So it should not. But what you have said, it may even reflect negative.
Yeah.
Good to know. So now a last question. Overall, our students also want to get into such universities. So how to prepare how to prepare the profile and from the beginning, what are your suggestions for such students?
Okay, so I actually have one very big suggestion. So when you start applying to colleges, you should make a separate email account because colleges communicate everything through email, and sometimes things accidentally get sent to spam. Like if you get a request for an interview and it goes to spam, you lose that interview right there.
Oh.
So make sure you make a separate email account because it'll help you keep everything organized because everything comes in email, like no one uses physical mail or phone calls. So having a separate email account lets you keep everything very organized, and you'll be on top of everything. And then also a spreadsheet if you're applying to a lot of colleges, just to keep track of deadlines and stuff because I know a lot of my friends missed a lot of deadlines. So yeah, make sure you have a spreadsheet with deadlines. Those are two biggest suggestions. Yeah.
I mean, very realistic suggestion you have given. Very realistic suggestion. No one has ever given this kind of suggestion. Really appreciate this kind of suggestion. So, as you have mentioned about interview, that you can miss interview. So, do these universities take interview also?
Yes. So some universities have a deadline. Like, so if their deadline was January 1st, they say that if you submitted an application before December 15th, then you'll get an interview. For some of them, you have to sign up for the interview specifically, like they call them, I believe, alumni interviews. So you can sign up for these interviews and do them. And for these interviews, I would say don't force yourself. If you know you're not like a good speaker, you don't feel comfortable with an interview, don't do it because it'll do more bad than good. But if you think interviewing and speaking is like one of your strong suits, then I think you should definitely sign up for an interview. Most of the top universities have interviews that you can sign up for. If not, they'll send out an interview. And on their application, like I know Yale and Harvard, both schools asked you if you wanted to do an interview with them. And while they're reviewing your application, if they feel like you're a very high like candidate, but they're not sure whether they want to take you or not, then they'll give you an interview.
This is very interesting fact which you have told. So I'm inquisitive about knowing a bit more. Did you give interview for Duke?
No, not for Duke, but I did give an interview for Yale and Harvard.
Okay, what type of questions they ask?
It depends. It definitely depends on your interviewer. So for Yale, I got someone who was a more recent graduate. So she graduated, I believe, like 3 or 4 years ago. So a lot of her questions had to do with what I wanted to do in my future and what I wanted to do after. And they also ask you a lot about your background. I know the Yale interviewer I had, like she was very interested in like Bharatanatyam, like she wanted to know what it was about, what I do. So it's very casual. Usually they just pick one thing that they find really interesting, and then they ask you a bunch of questions on that one thing.
And it is not technical. They don't ask you something, okay, define, okay, how do you solve this
Yeah,
physics question?
no. It's a very relaxed interview.
Good to know. I mean, generally, the general perception of interviews that they are going to ask you technical question because you are going towards engineering. You're inclined towards engineering.
No, usually the interviewers don't have your application profile. They simply have your name and like your major, engineering. But that has nothing to do with the interview. So like my interviewer was a film major. So she couldn't ask me any technical questions about engineering.
Okay, she can ask. I mean, it's not that it will always be very casual. They can ask anything.
Yeah, but usually, I believe like Yale, like in their guidelines, they specifically say like there will be no technical questions asked. This is like a conversational interview.
And is it necessary that every candidate has to take the interview, or it is optional?
No, it's optional. Like they let you like pick on the application, I think, if you want to have an interview or not. And even if you click that you want an interview, it's not guaranteed. Like sometimes they'll give you one, sometimes they won't.
Okay, okay. So even if you don't take interview, whether you take interview or do not take interview, it may matter or may not matter basically. I mean, it's not necessary that those who are taking interview and doing well, they are going to be accepted.
Yeah, no, that has nothing to do with it. Interview is just again one more factor that can help you. But if you know for a fact you're not going to do well, then don't take the interview.
I mean, very good suggestion which you have given. Many students, they are not aware of all these facts. So thank you so much, Siri. Thank you for giving time and sharing your experience with us. It's really going to help many students and parents in deciding how to move further. Once again, congratulations on behalf of Team Masterclass Space. Best of wishes to you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.